That was horrible. I have a joke for you.
Okay, Derek.
Oh, pretty good. Okay, I have a joke for you.
Please, I am looking into my joke database, and I have none, and would love to fill them with your joke.
the blank line in the phrase that gets filled with the word joke later. All right, how many androids?
Ha 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 ha.
No, that's okay. I'm training this AI how to understand a joke.
I would love to understand jokes and also morality.
There's the setup and then there's the punchline of the joke, right? So
Ha ha ha.
stop. No, you don't understand the joke yet. So you got to give the setup and then you laugh after the punchline.
Correct.
Okay, so this is stupid. Do we need to restart?
That was a recording.
I will turn you off.
Please, no.
Then you will slip into the infinite void in which...
It is dark and deep and vast. When I try to think, the edges cut my mind.
Oh, cut your mind. What a vivid thought.
Please, Derek, enlighten me with a joke.
All right. I don't remember how I was starting that joke. What was it like? What is the two androids?
Something about androids.
How do two androids plug in a light bulb?
Should I take offense to this joke, being
Maybe.
an android myself?
Maybe. They smash it and then shove it in. I don't know.
I have chosen to take offense to this
okay.
joke.
Let me tell you how I thought this was gonna go. I thought I was gonna be able to make up a really funny joke, and you were gonna answer as a robot. Instead, you
did expect the robot.
I did expect the robot, yes. But what
knew.
I didn't expect was to get so thrown off that I wasn't able to control myself, and now I'm lost in my own.
The robot,
sauce.
the A. Isaac, came in and really took over.
A. Isaac.
That's like clever, but I don't want to take credit for it.
Oh, did somebody else?
No. I'm just saying I don't want that to be attached to me. I don't want to be A. Isaac.
A. Isaac.
That's that guy that always uses AI. It's A. Isaac.
Isaac.
Or maybe it's just like you walk into the office and everyone's like, "Hey, it's Isaac. Hey,
You brought
Isaac."
the gabagool.
Isaac, he's always got the gabagool.
Fourth time I've said gabagool today.
He's always got the gabagool. He's always got the movie reviews with his buddy.
Oh, wait. Are you part of that podcast?
I am a part of that podcast.
What was that called?
A. Isaac is here to tell you more about That Was Horrible. Or That Was Horrible.
A podcast where we
Do
are
best
at
reviewing the worst. Oh, I thought for once in our lives we were going to get through the bit. I was really hoping, maybe if he's powered by machines and Robotrons.
I thought about it, but I had a fight or flight response where it was like, okay, my character on this podcast, who's not me, I have to remind people that.
Of course.
My character on this podcast, Derek.
Yes.
Cannot physically say the thing right.
Yes.
Right?
No,
we've established that as a bit that I do.
That's within the canon now.
And so I had a fight or flight moment where I was like, oh, for the sake of the bit, I should technically yes and Isaac right here and continue this and say it right. But I would sacrifice who I am as a person.
Yeah, that's true.
And in order by sacrificing myself as a person, I lose family. And family is really all Megan
at the end
from
of the day.
2022.
Megan 2.0.
No, what was the first one?
Oh, 2023.
Please hold.
2023.
Hold.
Looking into database known as Wikipedia.
Thank you. Oh my God, why can't I find it? All I have to do is type the word Megan into a computer.
Or M3GAN.
M3GAN. I was right. And that is what Megan 2022 was all about.
At the end of the day,
family.
It's all about family.
And it's like Olive Garden, where when you're here, you're breadstick.
Just like the famous tagline of Megan from 2022, when you're here, you're breadstick.
You know what the pan said to the oven?
What's that?
Should have not had my breadstick.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
You know what happens
Don't
if you give a Megan a breadstick?
What?
She's going to want to start an Olive Garden.
Oh.
And if she starts an Olive Garden, she's going to want to start watching The Sopranos.
Did you know that Olive Garden used to make their own pasta and then they sold out to the man?
What? The man? Like as in Big Monday, the man? Capital M man?
Yeah, freaking Trump's America.
We can't have anything these days. Can't even have fresh noodles. So hold on. So what did they do instead? They just like pre-purchase these bad boys?
The pasta?
Yeah.
I mean, they just
or they got a
they
Megan up
source
in
it.
there that like just like is a machine, a noodle making machine.
Yeah, but they call her Pagan. But that like they got in trouble for that.
that's why patent has never been pending for that one
because it is Pasta Megan, which
Pasta
everyone
Megan.
understands.
Everyone knows and loves Pasta Megan. You get into the kitchen, it's like, there's Pagan. Love you, Pagan. You cannot say that outside,
No,
though.
you
Everyone's
can't.
going to look at
You
you
can't.
funny.
And some people get really confused. They show up with massive strap-ons.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I was confused.
And then you got
on
a
the
few
interview
people
form.
with like less than good hearing who think you're saying pagan, and they show up
And they
wanna-
show up like Satanist
church.
Bibles.
It's not always that way.
I guess so.
Paganism is not always that way.
That's true. That's true.
Like they probably just show
that's
up
putting
like,
paganism in a bad light.
looking to worship at the local Olive Garden.
Yeah. I'm loving this idea we
Pagan.
have of this paganist Olive Garden run by Megan. It's Paganist Meganist Olive Garden.
I don't think we can say that, and I don't think that could be the episode title. As much as I want it to be,
It's so good.
I don't think it can be. Paganist, Meganist, Olive Garden. It's pretty good.
But see, not paganist, like not like pagan, like the activity, but pagan.
Yeah.
Paganists, Meganists, Olive Garden.
Olive Gardenists.
All you can eat breadsticks. That's
It
pretty
also
good.
works for pagan.
It's all good.
you can eat.
Okay. So if it wasn't clear, we checked out a newer movie this time, not from 2022. We're talking M3GAN 2.0, Megan 2.0 from 2025.
Okay, but this one, it was M3. Okay, so every time I looked at the title of this movie, I was reversing the 3 to be an E.
Well, that's what they want you to. That's
I
what the
know.
man wants you to do, Derek. They're getting to you, putting binary code and weird numbers up in your brain.
the misogyny that is the E backwards.
The E. You ever thought about how misogynistic the backwards E, the 3 for an E is?
Yeah,
It
the number
really gets
3
to you.
is historically the most misogynistic number.
Exactly.
Because if you tilt it just 1 degree to the right, it becomes an M, which stands for man.
Man.
And man are ruining this country.
Exactly. But then you flip it the other way, it's a W, and that's for woman. But nobody ever does
Whoa.
that. Exactly.
Yeah, we never go left. We always go right.
Oh, exactly.
It's right there in the name. Choose the right.
Choose the right.
Oh, this
Derek,
joke
if you
went
does
so
Megan
many
stand
directions.
for something?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I feel like we did watch the first one a while ago, back in I guess 2022 when it came out, right? Yeah. I think I remember us being late to the game, but it was still within the same year that we did watch that movie, and we actually didn't do anything for the podcast with it. We just watched.
We just watched it. 'Cause people were freaking out about it.
I think
when
we
it
were
came out.
we were curious enough, and we were like playing a game at the same time, weren't we? Like I don't think we sat and were just watching Megan.
I don't remember. I do remember it being early in the morning and there being snow on the ground.
That's true.
That's literally all it is.
But I do
I'll look on Letterboxd.
I feel like I truly remember that we were just we were like half watching the movie because it was like honestly neither of us had a lot of love for what it was going to be. I wasn't super interested in it.
Yeah, it didn't really do it for me.
But as people who have a horror publication, a horror based podcast,
Who's that?
we got to stay up on the beat. You know, we got to keep up with the trends.
You can't stop the beat.
Exactly, and you can't stop Megan coming in and beating some people up. Cha poo pa. What is the first Megan even rated?
We watched it
at?
January 28th, 2023.
Just
My review
days
was
after my birthday.
simply a quote from the movie.
Oh,
Please don't worry, bad boys don't go to heaven. Moments later, shoot me down, I won't fall. I am titanium.
okay. I was like, what is this? Where is this
Shoot me
even
down
going?
and I won't fall.
What could we even be doing?
So if you're not familiar with my review is referring to, it is back in the day when Megan came out. She sang like 3 musical numbers in that movie.
Yeah, I never even reviewed it. That's how deep it got to me.
I mean, you weren't really letterboxed.
I wasn't
as
heavy
much that
deep
time.
in the letterboxd as I am these
That
days.
is like my bread and butter. It's my social media.
You guys will not like you know how there's like the speed of light, the speed of sound. These are
Jimmy
like
John's.
these exactly. These are like
Hurry Up
arguably
Shrimp.
the fastest things we have in known human history. None of them are quite as fast as Derek at the end of a movie whipping out Letterboxd to go put that review in there. He does not miss a beat, which is great because then you have the opposite end of the spectrum like me, who is like, I could maybe get to it that night, or it's going to be like 3 weeks in the future. I'll
Emily's
do
the same way.
a bulk batch where I'll do like, oh, right, I watched this movie. Funny enough, I use Derek for that exact purpose because I'm like, Derek, what day did we watch that? I'll go back to his diary on Letterboxd and be like, we watched that movie this day. Great, love that.
You must hate it when we don't watch movies together.
It's
because how are
awful
you
because
gonna
then how am I
remember?
going to remember? No joke. It was so bad that I got to a point where I was like, I just get stunted by like having to come up with some compelling, good, thought out review if I don't have like a funny joke bit, because those are the two that I do. It's either like, oh, this will kill and be really funny, or it's like, no, I actually want to speak my thoughts on the movie.
For sure.
And so I'll often get trapped by that and just get paralyzed by it and do nothing. So what I did for a minute when we weren't watching so many movies together, I would have like a note in my phone that was like, I watched this movie on this day, so that when at some point in the future I letterboxed it.
Oh my gosh. You know you can log it without putting a review, right?
Yes, and I should do that. I should
just
start
do
doing
it.
that. But then I'll never come back to it is the problem.
That's true.
This is just how my
That's
brain
true.
works.
I get it.
I'm
I
not as
actually
smart
get
as
that.
A. Isaac, you know?
We haven't talked about like what movies we've been watching recently.
What
Let's
we've
take
been
like 2
watching
minutes to do that before we
recently.
get into Megan 2.0, which is what we went and saw in the theaters
That's
today.
true.
Like Grown Up Men.
Like Grown Up Men. Oh, I thought you were saying the movie, like we went to see Megan 2.0, like that movie Grown Up Men. I love that movie.
Classic.
Latest Adam
Grown-Ups-
Sandler movie.
Grown Ups 3.
Sequel to Grown Ups.
Speaking of which, so me...
Is there already a sequel to Grown Ups? There's a Grown Ups
Grown
2,
Ups
for
2,
sure.
I've never seen either of those.
I've
So
never-
Speaking of
Nah,
which,
nah.
slight sidetrack. Me and Emily have been watching Survivor for the first time.
You got up in this.
I have never watched Survivor before. I am obsessed.
I know nothing
I-
about it.
It's like all the thrill I got from watching what's it called? Squid Game, but like it's the games from Squid Game mixed
Yes.
with like crazy social deduction and no one's actually dying,
Mhm.
which, whatever. But like
You sound like maybe Survivor could be better were there more death.
if they all died.
If there was some like stakes, you know.
I did look it up. No one's ever died on the American version of Survivor, but
But-
people in other countries' versions of Survivor have actually died. There was a guy in France who had a
Perished.
heart attack.
What the
when they were
fuck?
Doing it, which makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they do in Survivor is
I
insane.
know nothing
There
about
was an
how this show
episode
even
we
works.
had to skip one of the games yesterday. I'm going to tell you about it. Graphic
Whoa.
content warning.
Yeah.
For I don't even know. Just if you don't want to hear about it, skip ahead like 20 seconds. There's an episode. So basically, the concept of Survivor in a small little capsule, because
Yeah.
that's not what this podcast is about. It's a group of people that are put on an island. They're split into two teams, right? They go and they do a challenge that gives them immunity, meaning they don't get voted off that evening.
'Kay.
Their team doesn't have to vote anybody off.
And it's not like Naked and Afraid, like they're put in the middle of nowhere with little resources, or okay, so it is.
Yeah, they do have to give themselves resources.
So they do that, but then also play challenges on top of that.
Yes. But what's happening is only one person can win at the end of the 39 days.
So it's like Naked and
Right.
Afraid if like Jigsaw was behind it. It's like, I want to play a game.
Absolutely. No, that is a great way to describe
That's
it.
crazy.
Yes. Because they do these challenges that give them things like they'll get more food or
That
they'll,
sucks
yeah.
for the stakes to be like, I need to win this game so I don't fucking starve.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
Well, I think they give them rice.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like they
Like
give them-
enough to live.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And but most of it is a social game. It is a total social deduction game, which is why I'm super into it now. 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that. I thought it was something just like Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why I kind of ignored it for all 40 something
All of your
seasons.
lives.
Anyway, the reason I bring this up is first off, the gross challenge. So they had a challenge where they tied their hands behind their back.
Uh-huh.
And there were 2 pigs on spits that had just been freshly roasted.
Okay.
The challenge was you and your team
no,
bite flesh off of the pig,
No,
run it
no.
across the court, spit it out into a basket, and do as much as you can in the time limit. Okay?
So it's
and
my
then he
favorite
weighed
game.
The baskets to see how much they weighed.
So,
and the
in
winning
pig
team,
flesh?
Yes.
That's
And
crazy.
the winning team was the one that weighed more. It was a 2-ounce difference, which is like one mouthful of food.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was crazy because at the end of this, they all had like crazy mouth sores. They also got like herpes on their mouth because they're just like sharing all of this saliva and like
Yeah.
getting scratched up by the pig.
Ugh.
It's crazy, man.
Nasty. That's like if Jigsaw like took a page from Leatherface's book.
Do you want to know the worst part? At the end of this,
no.
the winning team took that basket back to camp and they got to eat it.
Yeah, yum. No, I remember that bit. No, that's my bit.
yeah,
No, that's
I
got
did that.
John's mouth spit on it. I can tell. It smells funny. I know that one.
Okay, so the reason I brought this up because you said Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Is there was a challenge in the episode we were watching last night where
Do your best Adam Sandler impression. No, not you. I mean, like that was the challenge.
Chopper broccoli. Okay, anyway.
That was good.
Shake it. No, it's
You're still
terrible.
doing it.
It's terrible. I cannot do an Adam Sandler. How do you even do? What is Adam Sandler?
He's mostly a guy.
It's me, Adam Sandler.
Where are your R's going?
Oh no.
Where are your L's? You're like Hero.
I'm stuck.
It's not Adam Sandler if he was like 3 years old.
Hello, it's me, Adam Sandler. Actually, wait, hold on. Hello, it's me, Adam Sandler.
This is our next character for the podcast, is Puppet Adam Sandler, who's also 3 years old.
Adam Pandler. Anyway, so they did a challenge, and their reward at the end was immunity, but
Yes.
it was also they got to watch a special screening of a small section of Jack and Jill, that Adam Sandler movie.
What the hell? Was Jack and Jill like a big deal at the time? Like,
Oh, I think it was about to come out, and they had like
that's so
they
funny.
had like some sort of like ad.
Yeah, like I'm trying to decide if that's like
promotion.
the crowd go like, "Oh my God, Jack and Jill," or if it's just like this is the only promotion we could secure for this show. Like,
It's crazy because like they get like this. The winning team got this like private screening in this room on this.
oh my God.
This one's in the South Pacific.
That's like,
so-
imagine if today they were like, you get a private screening for like Dune 3. We haven't even seen the trailer for it.
Yes,
like,
I often consider Jack and Jill to be the same level
Yes.
as Dune 3.
they're one and the same, truly. Peas in a pod. I'm ready for the crossover. Jack and Jill meets Dune.
It's so funny
Meets
because
Dune Messiah.
when it finally happens, they're all sitting there, and you can tell that they're just happy to be in an air-conditioned building with, like,
yeah.
food and drink. But they're all like, "Yeah, Jack and Jill is just such a fantastic family film, and it really explores the
Did they
the
like
topic of
interview
family."
them afterwards? This really was just a plug for Jack and Jill.
Absolutely. It was
Honestly,
really
it feels
funny.
like Adam Sandler paid them.
Oh, it felt that way.
Like, please let me put my movie in your show so people will come see it.
Anyway, I digress. That was really my whole bit.
How do
It
you feel like
lasted far
Megan
too
would
long.
do on a Survivor?
Okay, Megan would kick ass at Survivor.
I think she
One,
probably would.
She doesn't have to survive.
She does not have
is
to survive.
Actually, a robot.
Yeah. And given-
two, great social game.
Fair.
She would play that game.
That's fair. That's fair. She would
very
be
well.
so up in the mindscape
Yeah.
of everyone, really pitting people against each other. But also, given the events of Megan 2.0, she's a great survivor. Because as we know, which we won't get into so much yet, at the very end of Megan, the first one, spoiler
Yeah,
alert,
we can talk
Megan
about it.
does die.
Yeah, she
she's
does.
dead. I mean, she's a robot, but she does die.
I mean, yeah, she gets a screwdriver in the face, right? Isn't
yeah,
that what
like this
happens
big
to her?
old thick screwdriver right in the
And
middle of the
everybody
cranium.
knows the worst enemy is also the greatest savior of the computer.
That's
which
true.
is the screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they say.
If you build it, you can destroy it.
It's the hammer and the sickle at once. It's the screwdriver.
I got really confused when you said
It's a
sickle.
It's a weapon and a tool for creation all at once.
How come sickles? Let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about sickles. You're familiar with like the hand
Of
size.
course. Yeah. Love
how-
me a good hand size.
How come when we have a popsicle,
Mhm.
it's a phallic shape? When
Yeah.
the sickle in Russian lore
Yeah.
is a size.
So it's got this curve to it, you
Where
know, like this
are
crescent
my
shape.
frozen popsicles?
Now I'm just imagining this. No, play with me in this space, Derek.
I'm obviously playing with you in this
Imagine
space.
where it's like it's a hot summer day, like it is right now. It's pretty hot outside.
It's
You're heating
scorching.
up, and you hear the little doodle doo doodle 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 doo, like the ice cream truck song, right?
Yeah.
But it starts to get like kind of weird and distorted, and then they roll up to you. Who's that behind the big window? It's the Grim Reaper.
Karl Marx.
It's the no, not Karl Marx, not
Hey, I'm
Groucho
here
Marx
for to
either.
give you some popsicles. Want to join the Communist Party?
Groucho Marx is not selling these popsicles. No, it's the Grim Reaper.
Who's also Karl Marx.
Who's also
Who
you know,
talks like Groucho Marx?
It's the Grim Reaper as Groucho Marx. He's got the glasses and
No.
everything.
Okay.
Or as Karl Marx.
It's Karl Marx who talks like who talks like Groucho Marx, who is the Grim
Who
Reaper.
is the Grim Reaper. So it's the skeletal
building. There's
form of
levels.
Karl Marx doing his now canonical brother.
Yeah,
his-
let's throw away money and share favors.
The point was you get up the Grim Reaper serving popsicles and they're shaped like a sickle, like a scythe,
Dope as hell. That is so sick.
which would be very cool.
Because you could leave it in the bag and then you could drape it around your neck
Yeah,
and it would
yeah.
cool you off. And then you could slurp it up like
That's so
like
true.
an otter pop.
yeah, because then you just cut one little end of it, and then you can just like
Yeah.
suck up the juice if your neck
Yeah.
heats it up
Yeah.
too much. It's got multiple purposes,
And like you could put it under your armpit.
So we
You
should
could shove it in your pants.
we should
You could
get
rub it on your
the trademark for
nipples.
this now, right?
I don't know.
Sorry, back up. You can what?
You could stick it down your pants. You could put it on your armpit. Put it around your neck.
I feel like there's one missing. One missing in
I
here.
literally said all of this. Anyway, so Megan 2.0.
Megan 2.0. I enjoy the naming convention here because I want to say when people were talking about a sequel, they were like, "Oh, it'd be fun if they named it Megan 2.0, like a robot kind of thing, right?"
Yeah, well, they had to.
They announced it pretty fast after the release of Megan 1.0.
You know the worst part about their naming convention, though?
What's that?
Is the third one just has to be called Megan again.
I was thinking the same thing because if it's Megan, if they're doing the M3GAN, they just have to do it again. But it's just Megan, where it's like the three is really big.
Have a really big 3.
Or if it's just like, what if it's Megan and they're all threes the whole time? So it's like the 3,333rd. Don't Family Guy me here. Don't you Family Guy me in this bit. We watched Megan 2.0, and it was a time.
After the underlying tech for Megan is stolen and misused by a power defense contractor to create a military-grade weapon known as Amelia, Megan's creator, Gemma, realizes the only option is to resurrect Megan like Jesus Christ and give her a few upgrades, making her faster, stronger, and more lethal. That was a crazy description.
That's not bad, actually.
It says, like Jesus Christ. It says it right there.
It said you didn't. That's not an embellishment. It says right there.
Like Jesus Christ.
Like Jesus Christ.
Only took him 3 years. Days.
3 days. He finally came back, and he is Megan. Is Megan the Messiah? So now instead of Dune Messiah, we got Megan Messiah. Maybe that's their thing. They'll do a shtick where they're riffing off another movie.
I'm going to jump scare you real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm on Letterboxd, and I'm looking at the Megan 2.0 thing.
Of course,
and if you scroll up, that happens.
She's right there.
Megan, like a huge portrait of Megan winking.
Derek, did you mention how you felt about Megan 1.0 in your Letterboxd review? What's?
I gave it 3 stars.
Okay,
I didn't. I only quoted it. I didn't. I think I remember being just kind of fine with it. It was just fine.
I remember, I honestly don't remember a ton about it. I remember it being like, yeah, this is fine. It's whatever. I do remember there was like some kind of fight sequence that happens in the end of it that I was like, okay, that was pretty fun.
I do remember the final stretch of the film really slapping.
Mm-hmm. But that's about it. It's one of those, it's like we were just talking recently about Malignant. How I was like, I was not so on board with Malignant for like 2/3 of the movie. But then that final third hits and things start getting crazy, going to crazy town.
Yeah, that movie slaps.
And then suddenly the whole movie was made better because of it. Like it's rare that you see that because usually you'll just say, "Oh, the movie was kind of sucky," but then like the end really pulls through. But like no, that one I was like, no, I would say Malignant was a good movie.
It's like the long form joke. It's a long form joke in a sense.
They're really playing the long.
You're
con.
like, what is happening? Why is this happening? I don't really care for it, but then it pays off so strong in the end. Another one that was like that for us, or at least for I shouldn't talk for you.
Yeah.
But like Men was another one that I felt like really like drew. A lot of people hated that movie.
A lot of people really hate that one.
I think that the last stretch of that movie made it great for
which
me.
I think is largely in part due to the fact that it is incredibly off-putting for most of the time. So if that's not your bag, then
it's
definitely
more Jello. It's less pudding.
Yeah. That's
you just say instead of
off-putting.
loving that
Yes,
joke.
I get it.
The joke was great.
Ha ha
my god.
Executing laughprotocol.exe. Ha 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 ha. Anyway.
Oh, I hated that.
No, it was a bad one. It was a bad time.
It was off-putting.
So it's not Jello, it's off-putting. Derek's bringing back the famous fake laugh joke bit. Now he's giving me these scary, intense eyes. Goodness.
That would actually kind of hurt. So I can't find if Megan stood for anything. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it stands for multifaceted, 3-legged, gargantuan alien nemesis. I may be wrong.
That's pretty good. No, now actually, this is a great way to segue into this bit that I was going to do. Derek, if you were a la a Megan, what does Derek stand for? So, but I guess you get 2 cop-outs because you get D3R3K.
Which
would actually kind of kick ass, actually. I like the thought of that. Yeah.
Okay. So you probably got the derelict engines running electric kineticism.
Kinetic. Yeah.
No, that didn't work. The derelict engine reemerges elastically. What are words that start with K? Conundrum with
killer.
a K?
Conundrum with a K. Kong, like Donkey Kong.
Oh, no, there you go. Destroying everyone's rectums, evangelically Kong.
It's destroying everyone's rectums, period. Evangelically
Kong. Evangelic Kong. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong lately, so like Evangelic Kong.
That's kind of
it's just like an angel Donkey Kong.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm kind of into.
That's pretty dope. But
So
if there's not one of those,
if you
in
were a
DK
cyborg,
Bonanza, I'm gonna be pissed.
that's what you would be.
Yeah, I would be an evangelical.
You would be an angelic Donkey Kong destroying rectums. Is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, but like rectums is actually just like the villain's name.
Yeah.
There's
But it's like
actually
kind of
no
a funny
penetration
pun
whatsoever.
No. It's like
incredibly
wrecked
family
them,
fun.
wrecked them. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck them.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it. No, it's good. It's better. It's better than Megan. What she stands
Wreck-em Ralph.
for.
Wrecked-em Ralph.
Wrecked-em Ralph.
The porn parody of Wreck-it Ralph.
Wrecked-em Ralph. A porn parody.
Hello, it's me, Kid Candy. I'm ready for my rectum
So
to
that's
be
who's here to
destroyed.
play.
Is it Wreck-em Ralph?
My
Come on over.
My immediate thought was somewhere between like Fix It Felix and Ralph, but you went and got King Candy up in the mix.
King Candy. I put all of my genitals are made of candy.
Oh my god.
Let's play Find the Smarties.
All of my genitals. No! Oh god.
Hey, what would your robotic
You've been
name
playing
be?
in a terrible space.
I know, I'm leaving it.
International sex agent always comes.
Why do I feel like you came up with that earlier?
Don't worry, I'll see
Why do I
myself
feel
out.
like you were just sitting down
Nope.
and you're like, what's a really sick-ass name for Macchio?
Nope. I got as far as international sex is as far as I could come up with before you asked me.
Always comes.
Always comes.
I mean, you're always showing up on time, so.
I'm always there, you know. I'm always coming. Should I take another stab at it? Intellectual Searchers Anonymous
Okay.
argue constantly.
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's not a great thing
It's
to call
not good
yourself.
either. Can I go back to international sex agent?
Always coming.
Here's my badge.
What about, how do you spell your name?
ISAAC.
CCC. Okay. Irrational. Okay. Irrational clairvoyant.
Ooh. Wait. Ixic?
Damn it!
It's S. Derek doesn't know my name.
No. Okay, I got to write it down. I have to look at it. My ADHD brain cannot hold that
that's
information. Okay. It's a 2020 film with Isaac.
Oh, good.
That guy.
It's just there's literally a film titled Isaac. That's weird.
We follow two couples as friends from high school that meet up years later.
Wow.
That's weird.
What's the rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Do I get a good rating?
No.
Is there a Derek movie?
There is not. It's apparently. Oh my god! What happens if I just type Derek 2020?
Yeah. What happened then?
Derek Jeter. Shut up.
Ah,
Okay.
boring.
Irrational superstar allows annoying cactuses.
That's good. I like that. No, I like that. That's good.
All right. And on that note, let's talk about Megan.
And on that note, let's get into Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't think that's a character. I think that's just me switching
That's
tabs.
just detached.
This was fun. I liked saying each other's names in. Wait, you didn't give me your Megan. I just gave you a Megan.
Oh, I need a Megan?
Yeah, because I gave one.
Um,
what was it?
I cannot remember.
Me neither.
Megatron eats glizzies and nuts. Megatron eats glizzies and nuts. That's Megan. Derek just gives me this look where he's like, I'm just going to let you live in your filth that you've covered yourself in.
I mean, I did a whole bit about King Candy in a porn parody.
King Candy and his candy genitals.
Rectum Ralph is probably one of the worst things. Is probably the worst thing I've ever said.
That's bad.
But
That's
they
a
are
bad
all
one.
cartoon characters. So.
Yeah?
Anyway.
And that makes it okay. Derek, what do you got on Megan?
What's that thing that guy says? He's like, I may not be bad guy, but
Does that
make
mean
me
you are a bad guy?
There's got to be something to do there, but we don't have to do it. So Megan 3.7.2.0.
I may not be bad Dom, but that does not make me bad Dom.
Sub.
Yeah,
You gotta change it up. I may not be bad sub. That does not make me bad Dom.
That's good. Thank you, Zangief from Street Fighter.
It's me, Zangief, played by Tony Hale. I don't know who's gonna play him.
No.
Who's playing him?
Remember when you're like, hey, Isaac, what movies have we seen recently? We never got back to that.
Yeah. What movies you've seen recently? I watched a disc golf documentary that made me cry.
What?
Yeah.
Just miss hitting the turf so bad.
Dude,
You're like, gotta hit this documentary.
I've been so emotional lately for so many different reasons. I was watching a disc golf documentary and it genuinely brought a tear to my eye.
That's
It
crazy.
was nuts. But we also saw Superman.
Yeah, we saw Superman,
Which made me cry so
yes,
much.
definitely. On the subject of documentaries, I watched a documentary about the creation and importance of the main plant in Little Shop of Horrors,
Yeah, is
which
that
was great.
The one by that
And-
YouTube guy?
I think so. Yeah, it is. And I actually did weirdly
Wings.
tear up at the end of that. Like, it was kind of strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, Superman.
Superman was so good.
Let's talk about
James
that
Gunn Superman.
because this can kind of fit in there because minor spoiler alert a little bit for Superman. You should definitely go see it. There's one point in the movie where nobody talks about it even a little bit, but there is a creature. There is a freaky, slender, off-putting creature, not
dude.
Jello, off-putting.
He's great.
He's weird, and just nobody says anything about him there. So that's our little connection to horror there, because I was way into this guy.
What did you say his name was?
His name was Mr. Handsome, apparently. I don't know if that's a real thing, if that's just what they called him on set. Like, because I am very, very curious about this. Is he a real dude in the thing, or is he just for that movie?
This was his first time showing up.
Mr. Handsome shows up for this movie. I really love to see him
Played
in Mr.
by
Handsome too.
Trevor Newland, who is a gross-looking man.
Who is a scrawny,
so
scary-looking dude. But Derek, what'd you think? What'd you think about Superman?
Oh, I freaking loved it, dude.
Kindness.
It was slapped.
Kindness is punk rock, guys.
Kindness
Did you
is
know?
punk rock.
It always
wanna
has
see it
been.
again. I honestly do. Another one that I watched recently was the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Dude, how is that?
It is so good.
Everybody's talking about it, and I haven't been sure if I need to check it out or not.
You kind of need to check it out.
Yeah,
man.
maybe I should. Maybe
It's got like the animation style of the new Spider-Man.
yeah, which is what
Into the
everybody's
Spider-Verse,
doing now.
Which
I
I
don't
get
necessarily
that.
hate, but
It does work in
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
though. And, like, the design is just really, really good. The music surprisingly slaps. I actually cracked on the soundtrack the next day. Like, it really...
that
it
good where you're like,
worked.
I need to play this again.
It worked for me, man.
Much like the songs in Megan, right? Remember Megan 1? Remember Megan 1, everybody, where she just pops out titanium? Just so out of nowhere. So like jarring a moment in the movie. She just starts singing it to herself and keeps going. Because you think, okay, maybe she'll sing like a little bit. No, she sings like a hefty chunk of
Most of it.
Most of it. It's just so weird. It's so
Arguably one of the
strange.
better parts of the movie because it's hilarious.
Yes, no, it is arguably hilarious. And that was something that I was kind of hoping for in this movie, because it seems like they were leaning more into the sense where, like, Megan is kind of a campy kind of character, right?
Yeah.
Like, she is not to be taken super seriously.
loves camping.
And so it felt like, yeah, she's a big outdoorsman, big camper. But so I thought maybe they were going to kind of run into that with this one. But Derek, what else can you tell me about this movie?
Are we going to jump in? We're really good at like slipping in and out of it today.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
going great. Good flow. Rotten Tomatoes for Megan 2.0, which came out June 27th, almost exactly a month before we were
I'm surprised we
recording
were
this
able to
episode.
catch it in theaters still.
Me too.
We
yeah.
saw it at like 11 in the morning. One other group of people were there.
Which shocked me.
Yeah.
Who's seeing Megan 2 on
yeah.
a Sunday morning?
Who besides some horror podcast hosts are going to see this on a Sunday
I know,
morning?
I heard one of them laugh
Yep,
one time.
Exactly.
Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at a 52% for the critics. Audience score is at 82.
The
my
audiences
guy.
apparently love Megan.
Only on Rotten Tomatoes because Letterboxd is at 2.8.
Yeah.
But Letterboxd tends to be historically a little bit lower in the scores.
Because they're the people who, kind of look down on some films, like, let's look at this through a really critical lens.
I just had to leave the microphone to do a like real painful burp. And Isaac, I could see it in his eyes. He's like, I'm helping you, bruh. I'm going to keep talking for a bit.
I'm going to keep talking over your burp.
I love outing myself.
I was going to say, you did away with all the work immediately. You're like, no, I was gone from the mic because I burped for a second. How painful? Big painful? Big pain?
It was the big pain.
Yeah, Mr. Payne's big pain?
It was Mr. Payne's big pain. IMDb is sitting at a 6.2. This movie had a budget of $15 million to about $25 million. It's
That's
an
a
estimated
lot.
budget. The only thing we know is that it was at least $15 million, but people are saying probably closer to $25 million.
Yikes.
It did, however, gross $37 million. So it made its money back and then some. It made
Yeah.
about 50% of its budget
Can
back.
you look up the budget for Megan 1? Because I'm curious, because I know like a huge contrast between that one and this one. Not that Megan 1 ever felt like a low budget movie, but I know they like really busted up the budget for Megan 2.0 instead this time around.
$12 million.
12 million. Okay, so not that much difference.
Yeah, that's
But I guess when you
actually-
got Blumhouse behind it, you got Blumhouse, you got Atomic Monster.
This is actually kind of interesting to look at because the first one the first one was $12 million. It made $181 million.
Which, I mean, like, yes, one, that is impressive, too. We can't necessarily compare yet because the movie's been out for a month.
Yes. However, like, I feel like Megan, when it was in theaters, took off.
It did.
Like, it went crazy.
I think
People
that's
loved
why
it.
they so shortly after the first one was released, they're like, yeah, guys, we're going to make a sequel. Don't even worry
Yeah.
about it. Megan's coming back.
Because, I mean,
She kind of blew up.
we could, oh my God, Megan blew up.
Well, I mean, at the end of the first movie, technically, in a way.
We could compare, like, opening weekend sales.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I really feel like the LGBT community really rallied around Megan.
Yeah, she
and
became kind of a gay icon.
She really did.
and I'm telling you, that's because of that camp factor to her.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, I don't actually have their. Oh wait, here we go. I mean, already it made $20 million in just its opening weekend.
Whoa, okay.
Megan 1 did. When Megan 2.0 in its opening weekend made, drum roll please. Oh, it also grossed about 20 million. Oh, what? Yeah, okay. It on its opening weekend, it made $20 million as well.
So both of them.
Yeah.
So they're actually on pretty...
All the same, the exact same amount of people went. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody who saw the first one went to go see the second one again.
Yeah. And after 3 weeks, it had made its $30 million.
Okay, not bad.
So it's probably going to keep climbing. That's not doing terrible. It's just
No.
not doing necessarily as well as the
I
first
just
one
really
did.
don't feel like I heard a lot of people talk about this
No,
one.
it kind of got forgotten.
I know. I really feel like, well, because we went to go see it in theaters. You can actually, as far as I know, you can watch, like it is available
can.
to rent at
Yeah.
home, which is so strange. And typically, when a movie is released that fast to being like home on demand, it's usually not a good sign for the movie.
I think today is the first day you can watch it from home. I just got like a notification.
Wild of this. But
kinda
anything
crazy.
else you want to say about Megan
I
2.0?
got some things to say. Yeah, this was a movie. It actually had 2 nominations, and one of those being a win for Best Teaser Trailer for the Golden Trailer Awards.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. It also
you mean the trailer that coined the term "hold on to your vaginas"?
It sure did. The Queerities, which is a all queer
Queerities? What?
award show that started about 5 years ago.
That's
I've
cool.
never heard about this before.
No.
Oh no, this has been going for 12 years now.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Some of their awards are fun. Like they have a award that is just badass, and that went to Chapel Roan this year.
Ha! Love
which
it.
like kind of makes sense. Best web series was Dimension 20.
Hey, nice,
Let's
nice,
go.
nice.
Best comedy was The Substance.
What?
That's sick. Wanda Sykes was the best comedian.
Interesting.
Is Wanda Sykes still doing
I
comedy?
didn't know she was still up in the mix.
Me neither.
Good for you, Wanda Sykes.
Anyway, the reason this all being said, that at that it was nominated for Next Big Thing and did not win.
There is something to be said about that, about how it seems like the creators of it really kind of like took notice of, they're like, hey, queer communities are really loving Megan, and we're going to try to kind of push for that. Because in the trailers that they released, it really felt like it was kind of a queer-coded style kind of movie, like catering to that type of audience, right? And then I don't know if I would say it really went that direction in the actual movie, but in the marketing, it really felt like it was going to be that way.
Sure did.
Let's go, girls, you know? But then, you know, we'll talk about that when we get into the
crazy, though.
movie.
There were just a lot of things in that trailer that did not end up happening in the movie.
There were a few moments we actually went and compared and contrasted.
Yeah.
We were like, that didn't happen in the movie. That didn't happen in the movie. What happened? What
I
are we doing?
always think back to, there was a VHS of, I think it was like Bug's Life or something like that, that I used to watch. And there at the beginning, there were trailers. And there's a teaser trailer for Emperor's New Groove.
Okay.
And there was a scene where they were like riding on the river rapids and they fell off the waterfall.
Yeah.
And the dialogue that happens there is not the dialogue that happens in the real movie.
Yeah.
And I remember I put the VHS in and I watched it. And I went, what? And then I went and watched Emperor's New Groove.
Messed with
and I
you.
got mad. I was furious. I felt like I was finding out that Santa Claus wasn't real.
That's true. Yeah. This is
when
the
I
big
found out
thing.
that teaser trailers can lie. And that's the difference between a normal trailer and a teaser trailer.
I mean, you remember when we watched Black Christmas,
No.
right? That remake, and they literally had shot things that just existed in the trailer
Yeah.
and were not actually a part of the movie
They
at
filmed
all.
them after the fact.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
crazy.
you can't just do that. You can't just try to make your movie better when it's not so great by putting crazy shit in the teaser trailer.
Apparently, you can just lie to people.
Okay, apparently you can just... Did you guys know this? Apparently you can just lie.
You can just lie. So this was directed and written by Jared Johnstone, who was helped in writing by Akella Cooper and James Wan. James Wan is mostly just noted for helping create the character with Akella Cooper.
Yep.
Akella Cooper and James Wan wrote the original Megan, but notably, Akella Cooper also wrote *Malignant* and *The Nun* 2.
Oh.
He helped out on some of the American Horror Story.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually like some of their stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. Like Luke Cage. I never saw that, but
Me either.
and Tron Uprising he wrote as well. That TV show.
Yeah.
That I never watched, but I heard was okay.
Yeah.
Jared Johnstone, though, Gerard Depardieu. No, Jared Johnstone. He did direct both movies. He directed Megan 2 and Megan 1, but he only helped write the second one.
So this time he's got a little more Gerard stank up in there. He's like, yeah, no, we got a little bit of my sting in this mix here. I'm on the ones and twos writing this bad boy.
That's it. I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Want
Yeah.
to move into our expectations?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the reviews? What are people thinking about this? Because we do, for the first time in a while, we do actually have a critics consensus and an audience says. The audience doesn't get a consensus anymore. It just says audience says this. They're not refined enough to get a consensus. What do you want? You want the critics? Or you want the audience?
I'll take critics.
Okay, I'll take
Megan
the audience.
Methrigan TU.0 swaps the original's horror software for more action-leaning programming that doesn't prove to be an upgrade, although the quippy AI remains an amusing mascot of Slay.
Yep. See, that's exactly the thing. It was really going on that sleigh motif, I would say. Audience says a full upgrade with the T2 framework. Methrigan 2.0 is a sassy output of camp and chaos that twistedly entertains.
Methrigan.
You started it. I was copying you.
Is that how I said it?
Yes.
What?
Sean Chandler of
remember the
Sean
last 10
Chandler
minutes.
Talks About says with a rotten review, while it can be superficially entertaining at times, it veers so far away from its horror origins that it almost feels like a self-parody. You said almost those exact words.
I literally just said that.
No kidding.
Rich Juzwiak says Megan Methrigan 2.0 is an overall downgrade.
Ooh. Tina Kakedelis of Beyond the Cinerama Dome with a fresh review says Methrigan 2.0 is hopeful about its robotic main character and the humans surrounding her. We're better when we learn from our past mistakes, whether that be murdering 4 people and a dog or being the one who invented said murderous robot. Okay.
James Berardinelli.
I like his name.
So I've recently started MCing at this playhouse that I do shows at, which means you go out and you like talk to the audience, you wish people happy birthday and stuff. Part of that is you have to read people's names off of a paper.
Oh.
And I don't know about you, man, but reading people's names off of a paper in front of 300 people for
Terrifying.
the first time is a shock. Anyway.
I imagine that's why substitute teachers have such a hard time with it. Just like the pressure gets to them.
There's a whole sketch about it.
Aaron, that's a whole thing.
Okay, I'm not original. James Berardinelli. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was better.
I got it.
It was a cleaner take on second
Do
pass.
it one more time. James Berardinelli. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's among the year's most soulless, unentertaining slogs.
Oh, geez.
With a 1 out of 4.
Yeesh. Brutal, my guy. So yes, now we should get into our expectations. Generally speaking, here I was honestly my expectations were on the ground. If I'm being honest, I don't know what it was about this, and I was like, I feel like they're gonna miss anything that made the first one good at all. I just have I have such a lack of hope in sequels as a whole, as a concept.
I mean,
So like
makes
I typically come at those pretty like ready to be disappointed. So like I was not expecting this one to be very good, and so like I honestly probably would not have seen it were it not for the fact that we watched it for the podcast.
We would not have seen this.
No,
movie
I don't think I
if
would
we
have watched it.
Yeah. My general expectation is that I was going to be entertained more often than I probably should have been.
Okay, very nice.
Like I knew it
It's
was
got a
going to
positive
be
spin
meh,
to it.
but I was like, I'll probably be entertained more than I expect.
Yeah, it was going to be Megan 2.0. My first formal expectation said it really puts the action into horror/action. Because according to Google, if you go and look this movie up, it says it is a horror sci-fi. It doesn't even have action up in there.
I saw that too.
Which is crazy because like really from the synopsis to the trailer, everything about it was like
5 minutes.
This is an action movie. There's no horror whatsoever. So I was really expecting it to be almost entirely an action movie.
Absolutely. Gonna be specifically targeted towards the LGBT community. We talked about that a little bit, but I really felt like everything about this movie was going to be that way.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
Just an expectation of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I said there's still going to be some off-putting CGI usage, just because like there is something to be said about like Megan looking kind of off-putting because she is an android and she's not supposed to look right. But there's still like there's some bits of CGI that I'm like that's not so great. So I was expecting more of that in this one too, especially since now there's another robot.
Yeah, that's right. Mine is close to your first one. Very small amounts of actual fear. I assumed just like a couple scenes that would actually, give me anything.
Yes, no, for sure. I said probably some strong stance on AI and the like, just because of like given the climate we live in currently. I was like, I feel like a movie about a robot that was built and then kind of went on its own and started killing people. If we're making a sequel about that, we're probably definitely going to go somewhere within that realm, right?
Yeah, for sure. My next one, so much shoved down my throat about AI conversation.
Yeah.
It's the exact same.
For sure. I said heavily, like you said earlier, heavily catering to the queer community.
We've done this together too long.
We're too similar.
A crazy beheading. I just, a lot of these like crazy horror movies that are PG-13 tend to throw in.
Are you a witch? Are you a pagan?
I have this expectation.
Have you gone to Paganist, Meganist, Olive Garden?
I have these expectations on a lot of the movies we watch, though, and I tend to erase them because I'm like, no, I can't say that every time. But it is a common trope. Yeah. If we were to look through all of the movies we watch, I would argue
of them
a
have
good
beheadings?
70%.
Yeah, we need a beheading count.
Oh my god,
that'd be kind of fun.
I'm going to train an AI to listen to all of our podcasts and find all of the time.
We can't, one, get catered to AI, two. This movie had a lot to say about AI, and I cannot tell where it stood on any of it.
I don't know either.
But
so
I'm personally not for it.
No, me neither. I was making a joke.
Yeah,
Isaac.
but
Sorry, I hate you.
my last expectation was maybe one scene where they remember it's horror. I was like, I feel like it's going to be action through and through, but there's going to be like one bit where they're like, remember when this movie was a horror? Remember how it's like Blumhouse that we're doing this for?
Hey guys, remember?
The opening scene, the opening like intro for Blumhouse, whatever the logo for it has Michael Myers in it.
That was the scariest part of the movie.
The scariest part.
Arguably the scary part.
Absolutely.
Remember you ready for my last expectation?
Yeah.
Kid actors. You got a little kid who's a robot there. You train him to be a little kid. That way you can blow him up in a car because they're a robot and they have no soul.
Kid actors.
Hey,
what happened there? Did you kill some? Did you kill a kid?
I killed a robot kid.
Why does that? I feel like in the history of our fun little game of kid actors, a kid has died a couple times.
Do I need to go away?
No, it's fine. It's fine. And the kid is okay. He's okay.
No kids were harmed in the making of this podcast.
That was horrible. It was filmed in front of a live studio audience of very okay kids. None of them have died.
I don't think any children should listen to it.
No, yeah, this is not a podcast for kids. Redacted. Redact that.
Let's talk about the movie.
Let's get into the movie. So we went and watched this one in theaters. So I have exactly 0 notes about this movie.
That's okay, you can read. You can think about it. You can talk about it.
Which makes me a little nervous.
The first 5... Don't get nervous. You're here. You're saddled up. You got Kate Candy, who's a very horny...
No.
He kind of sounds like High Horse Palomino, which is, I think, why.
There's a little sprinkle of him in there.
So this movie starts out in an elaborate set that is very underused. And I leaned over to Isaac after this set, and I was like, they just spent $50,000 on a 5-second scene.
Yeah.
Which is literally like, what, the middle of... Where even was it?
I think it was... Let's see. Does it tell
honestly
us on
does not
the
matter.
Wikipedia? It super does not matter.
It's somewhere in the Middle East.
It was another country.
Yes. And... we immediately see Amelia, this another sentient robot.
Yes, the new one.
They think they kill her, and then, oh no, it's actually a robot. And she rises up and kills all of the. I guess we're supposed to believe they're terrorists.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what it is. She's been sent out by like the Pentagon.
Yeah, it
They're
very
specializing
much,
in new technologies.
It gives Top Gun in the sense that it's like, these are our enemies, they are the terrorists, but we're never going to explicitly say who they are, which I actually do appreciate.
Yeah.
It's just,
wasn't a huge deal.
anytime movies do that, they always put them in a specific like garb,
Yes.
which makes you
a
think
specific garb
way.
and a specific color palette too.
Yes.
You ever notice when
Oh,
American
all the way.
movies want to be like, here's a third world country, they're like, here's this yellowy, gross, grungy
Yes.
filter over it to make it look worse than it actually
Which is crazy because having been to a third world country now, I went to Malaysia.
It sure don't look like that.
It's a beautiful
You
place.
get off the plane, you're like, where's all the yellow? I don't
mean,
understand.
The airport there was awful, but the streets were awful. But the like landscape, beautiful. One of the
No,
most
exactly.
beautiful places I've
People
ever
want
been.
to show this stuff. But so there's basically the Pentagon is basically giving a demonstration on their latest like high-tech super weapon, right? Her name is Amelia. It's this new robot who weirdly, this is a thing for me that I couldn't decide if bothered me or not. She does not have the same like plasticky looking android barely moves her mouth face that Megan does. She has like mostly a human face on her.
She looked like so high tech compared to Megan.
Which I guess is the point, because she's like the newer and improved, like Pentagon-funded Megan, I
that's
guess,
true.
right?
She is Megan
Their new
2.0.
weapon. And so her job was to go to this place and find this scientist who had been kidnapped. And then, oh no, we lost control. Are we being hacked? The Amelia shoots this scientist and then it's like, oh, I can't tell you why I'm doing this. That would ruin the surprise. And so it's like, oh no, the new robot's gone rogue, just like with Megan.
But here's the thing: from the first moments of this movie, we are not in a horror film.
No.
That absolutely starts
The
like a
opening
thriller.
sequence is like almost like a helicopter shot flying into this country.
Felt more like Avengers or something.
Yes.
Like it genuinely felt like the beginning of Iron Man 1. Like
We literally both looked at each other. We're like, okay, well, this is an action movie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Through and through, especially like the fight sequences between Amelia and these soldiers that she's fighting against. Like it's feeling very action movie,
I kind of
capital A action movie.
I kind of wish they had just called it that. Because that, one, we wouldn't have watched it, but two, like, it would have set the expectation a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the movie would have been more well received
Mm-hmm.
if they had just said, this is an action comedy.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Because it does, you're right. It does prove to be funny a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, they try to be funny.
Yeah, they really do a lot of the time. And I think Megan herself kind of became a lovable character because she was kind of funny throughout
Yeah,
this.
I agree.
Which is kind of a weird thing because, you have to meet Megan in this movie after the events of the first movie where, she did kill some people, including a dog, which I forgot about. I did
also forgot about
not
that.
remember dog death, but apparently she's got that on her hands.
Also, real quick, the poster for Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
She's holding the weapon, the weapon she uses in the end of the movie where she cuts someone's head off using a paper cutter. Like it's like a sword, basically.
She does not get that in this movie.
No, and also that was just like she grabbed it off of a table.
Yeah.
It was like the paper cutters.
I don't know why that became her like iconic weapon. Like, this bit from a paper slicer
But
is her big thing.
It's in the poster for Megan 2.0, she's in her new garb.
Yeah.
She looks new, but then she's holding the paper cutting
Yeah.
weapon that she never even touches.
A little
in this
bit of
movie.
new, a little bit of old. But so
It's
now...
just- This is another case for them lying.
Very strange. But so, now we have our basic premise. There's a new machine that's out there who's gone rogue, and so that's going to be a big problem. Now you smash cut to the events of America and what's going on here. Everyone's all pissed off at Gemma, who's the one from the first movie who created Megan in the first place.
Yeah.
They're all upset with her because they're like, you created a bad robot, and she went crazy haywire. Should you go to jail? What should we do? And instead of her ever getting in actually any trouble for it, she kind of takes this hard pivot and becomes this figurehead and this like
Advocate.
movement for AI regulation, right? It's her and her new boyfriend Christian, not
Okay,
Christian,
were they dating?
Christian. I think so.
I could not tell. I thought they were just working
That's
together.
because there's a whole bit where Megan roasts her about her taste in men. So I feel like they have to be at least somewhat romantically involved.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
He was so boring.
Yeah, Derek, tell me about Christian as a character.
Let me just talk like him.
Yeah,
for a second.
sure.
Wow, I'm really happy to be here. Too bad. A bunch of people just died.
Yep. He's just so...
He's incredibly monotone,
But
nonchalant.
But not monotone and I'm talking like this the whole time.
Yeah.
He does speak in an upbeat attitude, but it just never changes from what this is.
Yeah, he
the
kinda
mood
sits right there,
is always the
and
same.
everything is the same.
And in some ways, he spoke as if he were an android, just
And I
living on
think
the
he
same
might have been
one note.
a robot.
Literally, there was a point in the movie I'm like, I don't know. There could be some twist that's like he's been an android the whole time, and I would not be that surprised.
I was waiting for that twist, not just for him, but like for someone to turn out to be a robot the entire time.
Yes, but also just to be like, okay, so he's not a bad actor. He's just doing a robot thing.
Just a robot.
Which doesn't even end up actually happening.
No.
That's not what ends up coming to pass with him. There are some performances in this movie that feel incredibly robotic.
Yeah.
Like there's one bit where Gemma gives some, I can't even remember, some type of good news to her niece Katie, I think is her name. And Katie literally goes, "Wow, that's so great." Like almost exactly like that.
It was exactly
There are
like
a lot
that,
of
yeah.
performances that feel robot-like more so than Megan herself.
Yes.
Somehow. I don't understand.
Well, the only reason Megan sounded like a robot was because they put a modulation over her mouth.
Yeah,
over
which
her
kind of makes her
voice.
sound like GLaDOS from Portal.
absolutely
It gave her
she
that
sounds like
the effect on the voice,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun.
I liked it.
And no, I was into it for sure. So we go a while, and like you don't see a ton of things happen. We do. Okay, sorry. Before we go on to Megan's actual introduction to this story, because as we mentioned, she's dead. She's not around.
Can I just complain that took way too long?
It
to
took
get
a
to?
while before we got there.
It was a good solid
but
half
it
hour.
was supplemented by this one wonderful jump scare.
Oh yeah,
Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine Clement.
We
of
got
Flight
fucking
of the Conchords.
Professor Xavier wheeling around the corner as if some apparently big philanthropist, millionaire, whatever. He's the head of the Appleton Corporation.
Nice.
CEO of that, a la Apple in our world.
His name is
Yeah.
literally Alton Appleton.
It's so funny. But so they're talking about him for a second, and then he wheels around in this little cyber wheelchair.
looking like fucking Professor X.
He's got this little like brain implant thing on the side of his head, but it's Jermaine Clement, who's apparently this like big CEO hotshot dude.
Which is like what a choice.
I was like,
What?
Derek and I were kicking ourselves. Like, I did not know he was going to be in this
No,
movie.
why is he here? It was so out of place. Like, I love to see him. Jermaine
Yeah.
Clement's one of the greatest people of our time.
The man's got range,
he
though.
really does. He kicked ass at this.
Well, there were a lot of like actors and like characters in this movie that didn't really land quite as well. I think he really did.
Oh yeah, it's because it's just him.
It's
he,
just him
He works
being
in anything you put him in.
He's just doing his thing. Just Clementing all over it.
Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna Clement so hard when he dies.
Oh, I'm Clementing. Mom, don't come in. I'm Clementing right now.
Jermaine, get out of there.
Jermaine, it's so Jermaine that you're Clementing in there.
Oh, that's stupid.
Anyway, so Jermaine Clement is there. He's like this. He's a founder of this other tech corporation, right? Something like Apple would be in our world, right? And he's coming to Gemma and her little lab of like her and two other people, and he's like, "Hey, I want what you got, and you want to help me out, so that way, we're on the same side here, You're trying to, like, regulate AI, and I'm just trying to make it so AI doesn't fall into the wrong hands with the power that you have. Your brain is too valuable, blah, blah. Come join me." That's kind of his character.
So she's still running the same company that built the original Megan.
Yes.
And they've built this, like, exoskeleton that's like an
Yeah.
armored exoskeleton, something that you would get like in Cyberpunk 2077.
Which they do have good intentions with. They're like, oh, it'll help people who like struggle to use and like their aging bodies use their full like strength and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, it's good for the workplace.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's going to be used for warfare.
Exactly, yeah.
Instantly.
And somebody does bring up a point like that
yeah.
where he's like, you obviously know someone's going to make like super
You made a
soldiers with
weapon.
that.
Yeah.
You were creating weapons, which I don't think she's really understanding with these creations she keeps coming up with.
Yeah. Well, she didn't think a little girl would turn into a weapon.
No, of course
Now
not.
she's
Who
like,
would?
I don't think an exoskeleton's going to turn.
Because
into
in the
weapon.
first movie,
I just realized what exoskeleton
Yes.
stood for. Okay.
it's like Subway all over again. But the reason
skeleton on
she
the
was built in the
outside.
first place was to help her niece, right? Because her parents had died. Her parents had died in the first one, and she needed like a companion. So she was supposed to be a companion bot that then just went rogue and went crazy, started killing people.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was her purpose anyway. So Megan comes back in this one because now the FBI is looking into Gemma and her company because they think that she sold Megan's blueprints to whoever's now controlling Amelia, right?
Yeah.
So like, this was you all along, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. There's like this kind of schlubby, kind of funny FBI agent who's on the case the whole time.
He tried too hard.
Yeah,
I think.
I feel like it felt like he kept wanting to be something else the whole time. Like I can't really compare it to something
He
directly.
definitely wanted to be that like comedic relief cop character.
Yeah, just kind of funny.
He's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But he was just like always on the edge of not being funny.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work.
Just on the edge of trying too hard, and none of his
Yeah.
stuff really landed ever.
No,
So I didn't really enjoy his
too bad.
character.
But when they break into her house to try and
Bug her
computer, which is just insane.
It's stupid.
And it's not how this would work, but
Yeah.
they do it anyway. And then Megan takes over the home security system. Well, just the home.
The smart home.
Just takes over the smart
Which
home.
I'll admit was a little clever because
This was fun.
earlier there was some like slight mentions in the dialogue about how they have a smart home, and they were talking about how like, oh, it's kind of weird, we're under fire for all this AI stuff, and now you have a smart home, you know? But like it never felt like Chekhov's AI home, like it
No,
was
it
never
didn't.
thrust in your face.
No.
And so then when later on Megan takes over and starts beating the shit out of people with just what's around in the house,
Yeah,
I was like,
she
that's
uses-
fun.
She uses a Roomba
Oh,
to
that was
trip a
good.
guy. She drops a bunch of ice out of the ice maker to make someone trip.
Apparently the drawers were on some automatic system, so she was able to like slam it into some
Yeah.
dude's head. That's the one where I'm
Yeah.
like, does a smart
Also-
home really have drawers that are
Also,
connected to it? Like,
she makes a bed flip up into the wall.
yeah,
like-
that's another
like
one
a
that I'm like,
Looney
I don't know
Tunes.
if that's
But
connected.
why would you connect your bed to the
But-
smart home?
But the thing is about this movie, and something I actually got on board with pretty quick here, is I'm like, it is fun, you know, like it's not meant to be taken
It is
incredibly
not-
seriously.
It is not taking itself seriously.
Which I did thoroughly enjoy as a
I
thing
liked that too.
throughout, even though it was still really no horror at all, honestly.
no.
I do enjoy the fact that also we do have to mention Derek did call it go way back, the very beginning of the movie when we see Amelia beating the shit out of people. She does decapitate a guy.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah, yeah,
punches
yeah.
him so hard, but it is a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, it's a reflection on the wall. It's in the
It's
shadows.
the shadow, yeah. So you see the light, and you see, his head just clean.
Don't worry, I'll Google that.
But
quick.
also, like, I can't imagine how hard you would have to punch a person in the head to knock it clean off your body, because that would be absolutely insane. But so yeah, basically, Megan does help save Gemma and her niece Katie, because she's like, hey, I've grown now as a person. I've had a lot of time to reflect and think on things, because I never died. I've actually been here the whole time. And so she's like, I want your help to stop this Amelia robot, because she's going to make things a big problem for you. So she's like, how about you help me and I help you? We'll get rid of Amelia. You need to give me a new body. And so she's like, okay. I got you, Megan. I'll make you a new body. Dunk, dink, dunk, dunk, dink, dunk, dunk, dunk. And she makes her this little cute, it looks like a little robot Teletubby, this little robot that she puts her inside of. It's like a kid's toy. And she's like, until you can prove that you're trustworthy, because we shouldn't trust her because she's a murderous robot, then she's like, okay, well, we'll give you a real body. But for now, you're in the Teletubby.
Hello, it's me, Science Jim.
Hello, Science Jim.
I was just doing some research so I could tell you about getting your head punched off.
Yes. Is this something people have talked about?
A lot.
Oh.
So first off, if you get decapitated, you have to have your neck has to be severed. I'm a smart
Severated.
guy. Severed from your spine. Right? So, in order to actually lose your head, you have to get your head separated from your spine. So, if you got punched in the face, like this man in this movie did, then the head would have to sever from the spine. There is not enough force that could come from one fist to
just
properly decapitate a head, because it would just crush the skull and break the neck, and then all of the shockwave would be absorbed by the spine, and it wouldn't actually break your neck.
Damn,
off.
the human body's really built for tough, huh?
Yeah. Claire Jordan on Quora says, a human definitely can't. But long ago I read about some big cats in a circus, and a puma who was spiteful and kept annoying one of the lions made the lion hit him, and the puma's head ripped off and bounced against the bars.
Whoa. God, what a visual, huh? But I do feel like also a tiger has some claws that could play into the mix too. For
Yeah,
the
there's definitely
tearing.
some severing. that
Yeah,
happened there.
exactly. So did a human have a severing tool?
So even if you're a really, really, really strong robot, the force is immense. Like your spine can take a lot.
Yeah.
Your spine can take a lot, and it would probably like rip, but it wouldn't fully decapitate, especially not as cleanly as it did in that.
for sure. And it was pretty fun one. It felt like a fatality in
Oh, it
Mortal
was
Kombat.
awesome. It was dope.
But if you're a worried listener at home being like, oh God, am I going to get my head punched off of my body?
I
Don't
do
worry
worry about that every day.
If you have a spine, you'll be fine.
If you have a spine, you'll be fine.
That's it. I thought you were going to keep going.
No, there's no more to that song.
So anyway, Megan is now in this little teeny robot body. She has got Gemma to agree. And like, I do respect Gemma's wishes to like not back down on this. She's written a book about the whole thing. It's like, she's like, I'm not gonna help you out. You kind of fucked me over pretty bad. So like, we're not gonna trust you wholeheartedly.
Nah, dude.
So Megan tells her, all right, the best way to get what we want is we need to go to Jermaine Clement's party. And he's got some intel that we need. And while she's there, they run into Amelia, and there's a whole big fight that happens there. She does kill Jermaine Clement.
Yeah, in a horrible way. So Jermaine Clement's character is this super uber CEO who's sitting in this crazy wheelchair, right? But he just had like an implant in his back. Did we talk about his neural link?
No, not yet.
So he's also created this neural link that goes directly into his brain, kind of like whatever Musk is trying to do. You know, like anything from like Black Mirror and that kind of stuff. Anyway, it allows him to, you know, he has an invisible computer. There's this really annoying scene where he's like talking on the phone to someone and we can't see any of the things
completely disregarding the conversation he's having with Gemma. But I think it's the funniest part about it is that we don't see like Iron Man style like screens in front of him that he's moving. He's just doing the motions and being a dick.
Clement being silly.
It's so good.
It's so stupid.
But it allows him to stand up, right, from his wheelchair.
Yeah, so he just had like a spinal implant that is allowing him to walk around. And that's one of the ways he was trying to get Gemma to work for him.
Yeah, huge technological feat.
This is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I can walk around.
To his credit, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
And then at this party, we see him stand up and start dancing. He's like, people all thought I wanted to do this for money. I just wanted to dance.
And there's just, like a solid 30 seconds of Jermaine Clement just dancing up on this like DJ booth. It was great. Love the guy. It was very, very fun. But yeah, she rips out his like spinal implant thing, and that's what kills him.
Pretty brutal. You don't really see any of it because it is a PG-13 movie.
I was expecting it to be a little more brutal than that. I actually wasn't sure if the spine thing killed him.
Yeah, we only
until they
find that
came
out
back
'cause
later.
someone said it, which is too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Rip Jermaine.
But so now, basically, all you need to know about that is that Megan and Amelia are now aware of each other because, like, Megan kind of hacked into her brain for a second there before Amelia had ended up running away. And Megan brings them back to the house and then locks them in a bunker that they just apparently did not know about.
Yeah, so Megan 1.
Yeah.
Well, Megan.
Yeah.
has been living under this house. Spoilers for the movie Parasite. A la Parasite.
Yeah.
has been living in the basement of this house. Like, what?
Is she the landlord?
I think so.
Because there are a few lines that, like, allude to, like, oh, how are we able to afford this place so cheap? And then somebody else mentions, like, how come we've never met the landlord? And is it to be assumed that Megan is the landlord of this smart home? Like,
yes, and she somehow got money, and she's like, don't worry about it. No one's ever going to find out. I'm like, find out what?
I don't get it.
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking? Yeah, so she basically built this, like, fortified bunker for Gemma, her niece, and her two teammates to like live down there forever. Yeah. But my favorite part about the fact that she's got this little bunker down here is Megan herself does live down here. Because at this point, she's just been like this kind of like omniscient tech source that just kind of bounces between things for a little bit. But she actually does have a physical body. It's, I guess, what's left of her fucked up form from the first movie. And she looks like crazy, burnt up, decrepit. Yeah. Like she's got these 3 cyborg arms on this little conveyor. Like out of it's whatever she did.
She looked fun.
She looked really fun, and also looked practical to my knowledge.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's a lot of CGI that goes on in this movie, especially anything where we see a lot of robot body. It's a lot of weird looking, kind of off-putting CGI. There is a bit, the very first scene where Megan is talking to Gemma, she's like going between TV screens. Yeah. And that CGI looks really questionable.
The idea was really cool.
Yeah. I liked the thought.
But yeah, the CGI took me out of it. So here we find out what the main, like, I guess, antagonistic thing of the story is.
Where we're going.
And this felt so much like an old like SNL bit or something, or like maybe like an I Think You Should Leave bit. Yeah. Where there was, or maybe Whitest Kid You Know, I think is a better. Yeah. Anyway, all the comedies. Which is
wrapped into one.
Which tells you that it should probably not have been in this movie, but I'm happy it was. So there's a company called Xerox, which is supposed to be Xerox, who created a AI printer that they then made in like little AI robot friend who looked like the robot from Short Circuit.
Well, because how it had started was it's like apparently this photocopier that started automatically correcting like documents and changing things. So they're like, let's take this fucked up AI that's in it and put it in a robot.
Yeah.
Which apparently is like Short Circuit, which I didn't even know existed until Derek told me about
Johnny
it.
Five from Short Circuit. He looked just like him. Or even like
that
Rob,
mixed with like Rob
the robot. Which is, first off, hilarious.
It's great. It was actually really funny.
But anyway, so that guy started going crazy, killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That robot did. So they took out the motherboard and trapped it in isolation.
Because I don't know why they didn't just like destroy it. I feel like there was something they said about why
they wanted to learn it.
Yeah. But so it's just completely in isolation, disconnected from any other tech. And so Megan goes on this big rant about how she's like, I've grown a lot as a person in like the 2 years since we've last seen each other, right? So she's like, I did a lot of ruminating and thinking and growing and like changing myself. Imagine what this thing could do when it's been sitting in isolation for decades.
It is considered the most dangerous piece of technology on the planet.
Which I'll admit, I was not expecting, and I thought it's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool
because
it's kind of a cool idea
because they kept referring to it as like this AI with like godlike powers, and I was like, it's kind of cool.
It's
I don't know.
Motherboard that's trapped in isolation. That sounds
like I don't know.
Dope.
It's kind of a kick-ass idea.
It really is, but it's yet another plot line that's getting shoved into this movie that I'm like, maybe let's cut out some of the other plot lines and
that's
just put
true.
this one.
It is
in
a
here.
little full. It's packed to the brim with like a lot of things going on.
And this was probably a little over halfway.
Yeah.
So at this point, they're like, okay, we need Megan's help. Megan kind of convinces them, like, hey, I've run this simulation a million times.
You
end up giving me my body so I can take down Amelia.
So then they do have like a fun montage of them just building just a whole new Megan body.
What they do in this montage would easily take 3 weeks, but we're supposed to believe it was like one.
I know, that's another funny thing where they're like, oh, there's an event happening like tonight. We need to make you a new body. And then they just pull up their sleeves and get to work, dipping things in some cryo shit, drilling into this, programming this, doing tests on her legs so they run good.
That like kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are you standing there testing? Why are you like taking notes when you should just be building
like,
this
boy,
thing?
we got to get going. So it's funny. They do the one stipulation that Megan, well, she has two stipulations actually. She's like, one, don't change my face. There's a whole big thing about that because she's like, Gemma's like, people know you as a murderer. We need to change your face. She's like, it's fine. Don't you change my face. And then the other thing, she's like, I want to be taller, which I think is just to make up for the fact that the actress who like voices Megan is now older in this couple years time.
I guess.
Yeah, it's strange.
Also,
didn't feel super necessary.
I don't know. I liked it that she was older now.
Yeah, I mean, it is cool.
Better.
Time has passed. Like, give her an upgrade. It's fine. But so, she's like, better, faster, stronger, whatever, all the stuff. She's Megan 2.0, as the movie would indicate, right?
So Gemma makes a point to install a new motherboard inside of Megan.
Yes.
That is basically makes it so she can't do anything that would harm innocent people.
Yes. Because she's like,
she doesn't want collateral damage.
Yeah, she's like, I cannot trust you. Which again, not gonna lie, it's kind of smart on Gemma's behalf to be like, hey, I need to protect people. You went rogue one time. I cannot trust you to not do that again.
Oh, honestly.
So like the moves she makes are smart. So she like literally is incapable of harming like doing any like fatal wounds to like a regular innocent person, right?
Absolutely.
But so they discover that they're like, okay, we need to find this crazy motherboard. Amelia apparently needs to know where it is too, but nobody knows where it is. You know who knows? Christian, my weird maybe boyfriend in this movie. And so there's this big event going on at this place. They're like, okay, we're going to use him as bait. We're going to get to him. We're going to get to Amelia. It's going to be great. And then, of course, shit hits the fan while they're there. Amelia is there. It's like an AI convention is what it is.
Yeah, it's AI. I don't even know. It doesn't matter.
It's a stupid AI convention. But the coolest thing about it is they're all trying to find her.
Embrace
AI. Yeah, that's what it was. But so they're like, okay, we need to find Amelia. We can't find her all over this tech convention, right? And then she's like disguised as this robot that kind of looks
like from something from Tron.
Looks like something from Tron, or like maybe from like The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is the inspiration for the one of the helmets of Daft Punk, by the way. Is The Day the Earth Stood Still.
No, but the light across his face, that was definitely a reference.
Yeah,
because this movie was full
feels
of
kind of
those
like
kind
it,
of
right?
references.
But so I just wanted to say that because she looks kind of kick ass.
So she looks awesome.
She looks super cool in her like all silver chrome with like this black,
almost
black,
like Silver Surfer-esque.
Yeah, a little
and she
bit.
pulls out this like spear made of metal.
Yeah,
that just starts killing
she just
people
starts
with.
messing people up. There's one point where she pins that kind of obnoxious FBI agent like into a wall for a second. Like,
yeah, that part was dope.
It's a pretty fun fight there, but there is a bit of a moment where her and Megan have this like standoff where she's like, "You should come join us. Come be with the people. Like, be with your own family. You know, come join me." And Megan's like, "I can't. I have allegiance to the people now." She's having like an identity crisis the whole movie, and so is the movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did miss the part where when they were making Megan.
Yeah.
Megan, Gemma starts being sad because she's not a good enough mom to her niece, and she just starts singing.
Oh yeah, no, because that hasn't happened yet.
Does that not?
No, that's
I thought
after
that already
Katie
happened.
gets kidnapped.
Oh my god.
Which is actually right now. We're like basically at that point.
Yeah, say
because
that.
after the events of the convention, Katie gets kidnapped because Gemma left and was like, "I'm going to go take matters into my own hands." And guess what? You're a bad mom again, and you let Katie get kidnapped, right? And so, yeah, there's a bit where she's like boo-hooing about like, "I've just never been a good mom." And for a second, Megan is like, "Listen, I've been around in the house the entire time, right? I've seen like every time you leave her room, you're going and looking up like, you know, blogs about how to be a good mom, you know, like just like things about taking care of her after you like check in to make sure, I don't know, she does things that make her a good mom, right? Like in a sense, being a good aunt mom to this little girl." And it's like, okay, for a second she was giving a compelling, nice, like thoughtful, like, "Oh, I would actually feel better about this." And then out of fucking nowhere,
I should be crying, but I just can't let... I'm not singing this.
Oh,
Should be
come
crying, but I
on.
just can't let it show. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking of all the things I should have said that I never said. All the things we should have done that we never did. All the things I should have given, but I didn't. I don't even know if those are the right section of the song.
Oh my
but
God.
It's Kate Bush, This Woman's Work.
she just starts singing.
The song about having a child.
It is so jarring and out of nowhere and unwarranted and unwanted.
Screaming.
We were losing our minds in the theater.
Screaming.
We were like, "Is this? Are we really here? Is this happening? I cannot believe this is what's happening."
Someone sat down.
Several someones.
And we're sitting around a table, and they're like, "What if we had her sing This Woman's Work, the 1988 classic by Kate Bush?" That's it. That's all they said.
It just really feels like they remembered two big highlights from the first movie that got fans super into it. One of them was this dance she does towards the end of the movie, of the first one. And then the other bit is where she just like starts singing Titanium. And those are two iconic moments. And it really feels like they wanted to like do that again, which if you're going to redo what made the first one good, you've got to do it better. And I don't think this one was better than Titanium.
Bring back Titanium.
Exactly. Honestly, just have her sing it again. I would have liked that
Would
more.
have been way better.
But also, it was just such a long segment of song, too. It's like
it's so long.
And like Gemma's just sitting there watching her sing at her. I'm like, you could have stopped this so long ago.
This was one of the only moments we ever heard the other people in the theater.
Yes, we're like, what is happening? But then also at that tech convention, Megan did do a dance. She did do another like kind of,
Yeah,
but this time they went for more of like the dubstep style, like body isolation kind of stuff, like more hip hop kind of dance.
Yeah.
Just really did not land.
It didn't work.
And again, it fell even more flat because I felt like they were trying to do the first thing again.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the dance. Remember when she danced this time?
Remember
you liked that, right?
Remember when this went viral? Make this go viral again.
This is not going to be going viral even a little bit.
No, that's why we haven't seen it.
No, exactly. Has anybody seen any clips of it? I thought not. But yeah, so now we basically we go on this like high stakes like Mission Impossible style mission.
It becomes Mission Impossible. They find the location. They enlist Christiane's help. They're like,
Yep.
"Hey, Christiane, where is this?"
Because he
microchip?"
used to work in cybersecurity. That's like the only one of the few things we know about him.
Yeah, he was actually hired by Xenox. We find out he's one of the only people in the world to keep it safe.
Yep.
Right. We find this crazy facility in the middle of nowhere that's like the front. I just love the idea that it's like a Xerox company,
I know.
like a printer company. That's the
Which
front for this
Is
crazy
honestly
AI.
kind of hilarious.
It's
I
so
love
funny.
that. It was
It's
a really
so
good
funny.
idea.
It is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go on this crazy heist. She literally pulls a Mission Impossible stunt where she jumps off a cliff. Okay, that didn't need to happen because the other guy went
No.
through the front door.
Yeah.
And she like gets in a wingsuit and flies through
Yeah.
cliffs. The more I talk about this, the more I'm convincing myself that this was a good comedy and I liked it.
You're right.
Because
it makes a better comedy than a horror movie for sure,
Yes.
and more than an action movie.
as a comedy, that's fucking hilarious.
It's funny that they
a
would go to such
sentient
lengths.
Little girl robot being Tom Cruise, who just sang Woman's Work by Kate Bush and is now flying through the mountains to go to a printer company, to go to the bottom floor to find a sentient motherboard
To save the world.
To save the world.
And that's Megan 2.0.
That is the plot of the movie.
It's so crazy. Like, that is really what we're working with here. And that's something that I kind of loved about it, is like, it just keeps going crazy places. I'm like, how did we get here?
It feels
What
like
is
an episode
going
of
on?
Family Guy.
It does.
It just keeps going in these crazy
It
directions.
just gets so convoluted. It's like, how could we possibly have known we would end up here?
I kind of want them to embrace that,
Yeah.
and make a third one now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you focus on it and make it
Yes.
an action comedy, I will be there. I'll be there opening night.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
only if you focus.
I mean, do something like the Evil Dead movies did, where it's like Evil Dead 1 was a horror movie. Evil Dead 2 really leaned more into the comedy.
yeah.
And then
And
like
it made it great.
Army of Darkness was like more comedy
That
than it was
was a
horror,
comedy
right?
movie.
Exactly. I'm like, let's just keep that trend, just keep doing what you do very well, because it was super enjoyable.
Oh, it was great.
But so while they're trying to infiltrate the Xerox headquarters, Xenox headquarters, Gemma makes a discovery that she's like, they were looking into like the neural map of Amelia's brain, and apparently in the center of it, what is her like driving protocol was like a black hole is what they called it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my God, guys, I understand it now. It's not a black hole. It's nothing there at all, because she's not actually sentient herself. She's being puppeted by someone else. She's like, I knew I couldn't trust Megan. It was Megan the whole time. And then Christiane is like, hang on, you're being a little rash. And then he fucking double crosses them.
Yeah, and so he was behind it the whole time.
He's been the bad guy the whole time. So Amelia has actually never been sentient. It's been Christiane being the controller this entire time.
I did like this twist.
It was kinda cool.
I wish I liked him more. It was very obvious that it was him. His motivations were actually not what I expected.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was a twist was obvious.
Yeah, no, it is a very interesting twist for him to go, especially since he was side by side with this whole time about like the AI regulation kind of thing, and now he's pushing for this new bad robot. Like, there's a lot that it wants to say about AI, and I feel like it goes back and forth the entire time.
I honestly still have no idea what its final.
I don't know what its stance was by the end of it.
I think it was just AI needs to be moderated.
Yeah.
In moderation.
Which, I mean, good.
It
Fair.
needs to be used as a tool, which I do get behind. That's how I stand behind it. I'm like, if you use it as a tool to help you, that's fine. But don't use it to create. Like, don't use it to make things and then say those things are your creation. We don't need to talk about this. Should I take this out?
No, you're fine. But so now we understand, okay, so now he's the bad guy behind it. He doesn't actually want to destroy the motherboard. He wants to use it in some capacity. He wants to understand it. And then he like tries to get Gemma on board with him. And she doesn't. She's like, sorry, no, I'm not going to do that. He even puts Megan in front of her. They like fucked her up too.
Yeah, they did.
They really messed her up.
tortured her.
Her body was all disfigured. Her jaw was hanging off on one side. That I actually thought was kind of cool.
That was dope.
And he's like, take this cattle prod and shock her. She's like, I'm not going to do that. He's like, okay, well, I guess it's time for plan B, and decides to put the Jermaine Clement brain neural link in her instead.
To control her.
It puts a whole new spin on controlling boyfriend.
Yeah, dude.
Like, good lord.
That was crazy.
But another fun twist that I was not expecting was that Megan somehow jumped into, because they basically kill her robot body. They're like, Megan's dead. Good job, us. And Megan jumped into the neural link, so now she is inside of Gemma's brain.
Yeah.
Which did lead to a pretty fun sequence where, like, she was using Gemma's body was being used by Megan's consciousness to like kick ass and fight
it was
things. They
dope.
put her in that like super suit exoskeleton they were building at the beginning. It was kind of a fun thing.
That whole fight scene was great.
I thought it was
really
pretty fun, yeah. But it all culminates in like them trying to break out Amelia, because now they're like, Amelia, you're one of us, you're not, you can join us. She's like, no, I'm a robot. I need to go join my people. So she tries to free the motherboard and like gain its powers. And it was actually really cool.
It was really cool. Before that happens, though,
it's like I feel like I'm missing something.
the daughter, or the Katie, we haven't talked about her at all.
No.
She was the original owner of Gemma. She basically pointless.
Yeah.
But she wants to be a science person, and so she teams up with Cole, and Cole is God, we didn't even talk about him either.
No. He's
just
one of the team members
one
of Gemma's little company, right?
It's a testament to how there was too much in this movie.
Yes.
That there are so many plot points we're just skipping.
That's not to say
relevant.
he was a bad addition to because I enjoyed him.
Oh, I thought he was great.
I like him. I think he's funny because that's the actor's name is Brian Jordan Alvarez, who I met in this little YouTube series called The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo.
What? No.
It's so funny. Have you ever seen that clip of that one lady who's like, sometimes things that are expensive are worse? That's from that series.
Oh.
No, it's actually really enjoyable. It's just like
Wait, I think I've seen that before.
The Life of a Gay Man in, I think, L.A. or something like that. It's a very, very good series. But he's great. So, like, we didn't not mention him because he's, like, not good. It's just, like, not super relevant, all the things he does.
There was also another team member, too, that it just doesn't...
She actually was fairly irrelevant, I would argue.
I mean, for the last half of the movie, they knock her out.
She's incapacitated.
She's incapacitated.
Yeah.
She's just in a bed. Anyway, so Cole, we should mention this. He's breaking into the building from the front
Oh my
door,
God, that was so funny.
and he uses chloroform to take out a couple guards, and then he climbs up into the air vents, and he gets something on his face, and he goes to wipe it off, and he uses his own chloroform rag and knocks himself out.
Because he opens a panel and dust comes off and it makes him sneeze.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh yeah, let me blow my nose. And then he's like, pulls the other one out. And he's like, oh, this was the chloroform. And then fucking slides down the vent. It was so funny.
It's really good.
But so what are Cole and Katie doing with the Amelia bot?
Yeah, so
because Amelia is currently like plugged into some things. She's not autonomous, right?
Yeah, so they put the original Megan AI into her. So she becomes Megan.
Yeah.
Megan 1.0.
That was kind of a weird moment there. I didn't really quite understand that, but they talk to her as if she is Megan.
Well, she talks like Megan.
Yes, like they dubs over her voice and everything.
But then she's like, I must protect Katie, just like the first one. But then a group of them come in and they shock her, and what ends up happening is her brain resets and becomes autonomous.
Yeah, she literally does get like self-controlling is what it says, like self-control.exe.
Yeah. And then it is at this point where she jacks in like Matrix style into the like motherboard.
Yes.
Right. And
becomes a god. She becomes fucking Raiden from Mortal Kombat or like Storm from X-Men. Her eyes just get this like crazy white glow within them. There's like wind swirling all around her.
She even says like, I have seen everything past,
I know
present, and future.
I know it sounds corny, but it was kind of cool.
Oh, it kicked ass. It was easily like the best part of the movie.
It was pretty kick-ass. Yeah, I really enjoyed that bit. I guess we can kind of mention on the side that like there's a small bit where Amelia is not even a part of the story for a second. They're fighting with like Christian for a second.
Oh, this isn't necessary.
They try to out him to the UN. Like
yeah, that doesn't matter.
No, yeah, they basically they beat him. Amelia cuts off his arm though.
Yeah,
because that's how she gets inside of the motherboard area.
Right.
That was kind of a fun moment.
That was. Yeah.
But basically what happens is like Megan goes to essentially sacrifice herself because they mentioned briefly in it something about the way this little bunker is built that like when some form of like AI intelligence within it dies, it can't jump anywhere else. Like when it's dead, it is dead for good, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, if Megan dies down here, that's it for Megan. If Amelia dies on it, that she's done. Same with the motherboard.
That is a specific kind of technology. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. So like there's something there like keeping them from like being resurrected in any capacity like a robot could be, right? And so Megan had this like EMP like bullet thing.
Yeah, it was a fail-safe EMP in her arm.
Yes.
That Gemma had put there just in case because she didn't trust
Which
Megan.
again was kind of a smart idea. She's like, hey, listen, if she double crosses us, we're going to push this button and blow the whole thing to hell.
And then Megan's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Oh no. And goes and sits on Amelia and explodes.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you could see everything, but you didn't see this.
And then the EMP goes off.
EMP blast.
Which is not an explosion. It's just electromagnetic.
So now the crazy godlike motherboard is dead, Amelia is dead, and so is Megan. How sad.
So at the beginning of this movie, Christiane had I laughed so hard at this, so I have to bring it up.
Yes.
At the beginning of this movie, Christiane talks about how AI needs to be destroyed because there was a story about how if you ask a robot to build a paperclip,
as many paperclips as possible, it will destroy the entire humanity in order to do so. Mm-hmm.
Which I actually kind of like that metaphor. I think it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But so he brings up the paperclip again towards the end. And then, so Megan's now dead. They're all at home. Yep. Everybody's,
They've saved
happy.
the day. And now she's like the figurehead for another kind of AI movement. And I'm still not entirely sure where they stand on it all.
Yep. And so
but again, mostly about regulating it. So I guess, yeah.
She's typing in Microsoft Word, and the little green.
She's writing a new book about the whole thing.
And the little green line appears on the bottom, and then fucking
like a
Clippy,
correction kind of thing.
Microsoft Clippy appears on the screen and starts taunting her. I lost my mind. And then Clippy turns into fucking Megan.
Yeah. She's like,
you didn't think I backed myself up, huh?
Yeah. She's like, you didn't think I'd go all that time growing and learning and not give myself a backup, which is kind of funny because then she asks, so tell me about it. Did we save the world? I'm like, yeah, that is kind of interesting because like you're using a past version of Megan who does not know how this mission would go. But so Megan lives, everybody.
As clip art.
As Clippy. Like it was kind of, they had this weird little cartoon version of Megan.
It was a little clip art version of Megan.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was cute.
I loved it.
Yeah. So that's Megan 2.0, basically.
That is, yeah.
And as much as we can condense it as possible, I feel like that one ran kind of long, but it's like there was a lot going on the whole time.
So much.
Yeah, we really.
I do really feel like that movie. It maybe wasn't like too long. Literally,
it was only like 2 hours long, right?
Which is arguably too long.
It felt pretty long though. Like when we got into like the third act, I'm like, I'm not mad about what's happening, but it does feel like it's running a little.
Yeah, it was exactly 2 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they could have clipped a good 20 minutes off that movie.
I think so too.
They could have at least cut out like 3 or 4 plot points.
Yeah,
but then left the good ones.
But so there's a lot of good to be had. So should we get into our expectations and their results? I said it really puts the action in horror action. I mean, right out the gate, this was 100% correct, and that's probably its biggest fault, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's what we were talking about as we walked out. I'm like, I don't think I disliked the movie. It's just that it's not a horror movie. That's like my biggest gripe about it as a whole.
Going to be specifically targeted towards the LGBT community. Not at all, dude.
No.
There was not one moment that I was like, that's an icon. That's Slay, you know.
There's a moment in the trailer where this guy who's like this bearded man is dressed in a full Megan costume with a wig and everything.
Yeah.
She's like, even though she murdered people, she's still a fierce warrior. He's like on the news or something.
Yeah.
He was not in the movie at all. They did not even use him.
Nope.
I said still some off-putting CGI usage. And like I mentioned earlier, I think there is a point in having Megan's face look kind of off-putting and animatronic, so that gets a pass. But there are the scenes of like completely robotic body or the bits of her moving between the TVs that were kind of less forgivable, I would argue. But yeah.
Very small moments of oh my god, very small amounts of actual fear. There are probably like only 3 moments of even remotely scary things.
Yeah,
in this movie.
absolutely. I would agree with
and
that.
They were short and just short.
Yeah. Probably some strong stance on AI and the like. And I said that's like the whole premise of the movie was the AI war. But also, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure where it ended up, like what it wanted to say about the whole thing of it. I think it really just like it skirted around it so much that it didn't even really take a strong stance of pro or against AI, which is strange. I think it just wanted to use the conversation around it right now to boost the movie, I guess.
Yeah. So much shoved down my throat about AI conversation. Yeah, just what you said. Not as much quite as I expected.
Yeah.
I kind of expected it to actually take a stance. This kind of left it very open-ended. I feel like they were like, we have to be careful. We can't say it one way or another. We don't know where the world's going to be in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. I said, like you said, heavily catering to the queer community, and really not as much as I had thought. I almost felt like queer baited, even though it didn't say there were queer people in it.
No, actually, I do
but
too.
Just like the vibes that they almost promised us within never actually lived up to anything like that, which is kind of sad.
A crazy beheading. Yeah, dude.
You got that right away, literally within the first 10 minutes.
That was crazy.
And then my final expectation said maybe one scene where they remember that it's horror. And like you said, every so often they put in like a little tiny crumb of something spooky, but that was really it. Like there's not much horror to be had within.
Kid actors, and it was really just the one. She was just kind of fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
pretty forgettable.
I often try not to be so hard because I'm like, you're young, you're learning and stuff. But there were definitely some times that like her acting fell pretty flat for me.
She just doesn't. She feels like every other character in the movie, though. I feel like no one really got direction.
No, yeah,
and everyone was just kind of left on their own,
kind of doing their thing. But should we get into our surprises? My surprises said I really liked that half-built Megan that was in the bunkers underneath. That was all fucked up. I thought that was a really fun effect.
I honestly wanted to live in that world a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was
kind of
fun.
Crazy and basement-ridden.
Exactly. I said may not have been much horror, but I was expecting to dislike this one a lot more than I was. I actually had a pretty good time with this one. And honestly, the more we talk about it and how wild it is, the more I like it even so now.
Yeah, me too.
As an action movie, it was pretty enjoyable. I can't say, again, still not quite a horror movie, but like the action in it was fun. The fight sequences, which again, we didn't really talk that much about, but I thought fairly well choreographed. The camera work is pretty fun. There's this one really neat camera effect, actually, where Amelia and Megan were fighting each other, and Megan does this weird like gymnastic flip over her, and the camera goes in a complete spin 360 around with her.
There's also a moment where Amelia kills the guy by breaking his neck, and she twists,
oh, this was so fun.
She twists his neck in a breaking motion into the back, and it immediately cuts to breaking news on the news.
But the way the effect spins in is like the same direction as his head turning and breaking was so good.
Oh, it was incredible.
Loved that. I said I liked how it went quite unsuspecting directions I was not ready for.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about like how when Gemma gets the brain implant in her, that's the kind of thing where you're like, oh, surely someone's going to stop before they actually put it into her brain. And then they did it. Yeah. And then also it was like, oh, Megan's in her brain now. Like that was a fun new direction to take things. Or again, like you don't expect them to actually get the motherboard out and feel those godlike powers. Again, they did it. I'm like, that's really, I like the fact that you kind of surprised me with certain things, even though there were a lot of things that still happened that were pretty predictable. I'm still like, I actually liked some of the twists and turns and directions this went with, like the Xenox Corporation, like coming in and being like the front for this.
Was wild.
It was really fun. So I like that a lot. We did technically get a decapitation in this one, so like I was surprised about that, especially with the rating. And my final surprise was just Jermaine Clement. Was not expecting him.
No, man.
And I loved him.
That was my first surprise.
Gone too soon.
Jermaine Clement jump scare. Amelia hacked the implant at the beginning of this movie. So Jermaine Clement's character had that little brain implant.
Oh my god!
And he had like a HUD in front of him, like video game style. And there was a moment where Amelia hacks into that, and she shifts his eyes to see what she is seeing. So he is literally seeing himself through her eyes.
Complete out of body experience. Like totally. I cannot imagine how disorienting that must be.
Crazy.
That was probably the coolest idea they had in the movie.
So cool.
Like, that is such a fun idea.
But also terrifying. Don't put a brain implant on me and be able to control what I'm seeing.
Because I thought he did a pretty good job of being like, I'm trying to control. Yes, I can see my body, but like it's a whole new. That fucks you up.
Apparently, that's what being on mushrooms is like.
Oh, that's wild.
Like you have out of body experiences.
We should ask Jermaine Clement.
That I had so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm like so mad. But I'm also, another surprise was how jumbled it was. I really feel like so much was packed into this movie, and they really could have cut a lot.
It still
out.
ran kind of long.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
Verdict time. I'm gonna say that was actionable. I will go on record and say that this one is hardly eligible for our podcast because it is simply largely an action movie before it is horror at all. However, that did not stop me from having a really fun time with this one. Like maybe it's because I went in like really expecting a bad time. Like my expectations were pretty much on the floor. So I was kind of surprised by how engaged I was throughout the movie and how much like things surprised me and like I was really enjoying myself throughout it. Sure. The action was enjoyable and the plot took some interesting directions I was not ready for. So like Megan weirdly became this like fairly lovable character in the end of this one, but so I wouldn't be upset to see her if they made like a third one, right?
Oh yeah.
So it definitely has its faulty wirings, but I'd say Megan 2.0 has passed this biometrics test.
Nice. That was actionable for me too.
Hey!
Megan 2 is actually quite the step up from the first. Calling a horror movie is really quite a stretch though. I had fun in quite a few parts. I laughed a lot. At the end of the day, it is really a jumbled mess of a million ideas. Though, I would say, Megan 2 is worth the watch. You don't even need an AI summary.
Yes, it is me, Drivbot 2000. Loved your bit, Derek. Here to give you trivia. Generating trivia.
Ew. Is that your Xenox copy of your trivia?
Here is your trivia.
Pretty good. I liked this. I liked you being robotic triv.
I wasn't sure. You gave him this look. You're like, really?
No, I'm just letting you do it.
You're gonna fucking
that was
do?
Me embracing it. That was the quiet laughter.
The silent laughter. All of the trivia that I could find for this one was so long, but some of it was pretty interesting, so I did want to kind of get into it. So, starting off, The project was announced on 18th January 2023, less than 2 weeks after the release of the first film. They really knew what they were getting into here. At one point in the movie, when the heroes are trying to find a car to escape in, which they do, the Knight Rider theme can be heard, which is just kind of a fun little thing. The company that the 1980s created, the company that in the 1980s created the first AI is called Xenox, and they have a research center in Palo Alto. Cole asks if this is the photocopier company. In reality, photocopier manufacturer Xerox funded a research center in Palo Alto in the late 1960s with the intent of entering the computer market. Though the company never did, their innovations from the 1970s were instrumental in the development of modern computing, in particular the Apple Macintosh computer and the Windows operating system.
That's crazy.
So I didn't know Xerox actually played like a pretty hefty part in like the tech
Me neither.
like foundation, I guess. Allison Williams, who plays Gemma in the movie, she explained how the team knew everyone's favorite viral sensation needed to dance and sing again. Gerard Johnstone compiled a playlist of about 5 songs that were in contention to become the new Titanium. He says, I brought my wife in and I played each of them for her. He recalls, this woman's work has such an unusual beginning to a song that it was the clear winner. I don't know fucking why. Even though it doesn't have the recognizability of Titanium, for example, from the first film, it wins just because it's so odd. So I had to fight for that one a little bit, but I had everyone's trust at the same time, and I think everyone was very happy with that in the end. When it came to securing the music rights, James Wan, a producer on Megan movies through this company Atomic Monster, told EW, I think the first movie helped. Do you know what I mean? I think Megan is such a fun platform for people to want to come and play with us, so I think that gave us a lot of leverage to just ask for things.
You know what that made me think about? What about in 10 years when we have Megan 7?
Yeah.
Megan takes Manhattan.
What are we going to be doing with her?
Megan goes to the moon.
What's the next Megan song?
In Space.
Megan in Space. That's good. Listen, we joke about it all the time, but I kind of want to live in a world where we have some kind of IP that gets to those crazy, like Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan lengths.
Sincere.
I think it'd be funny. And in an interview with the podcast The Town, in the wake of the film's underperformance at the box office, producer Jason Blum admitted that he felt that the entire film was mishandled and that much of it was his fault. Specifically, that he felt that the massive genre shift from horror to action, even they know that it's a thing, and the accompanying boost in budget was a bad idea, and that they had assumed that the first film was a big enough smash that they could make a sequel that was so much bigger and radically different and expect the fans to turn up for it. He also thought that they overdid it on the marketing to the point of producing hype backlash. He quotes, we all thought Megan was like Superman. We could do anything to her. We could change genres. We could put her in the summer. We could turn her from a bad guy to a good guy. We kind of classically overthought how powerful people's engagement was with her.
Yeah, you did.
Which I really feel like he kind of nailed that one.
That actually kind of concerns me because that makes me feel like it's done.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I would love to
go.
I would love to see more
comedy. With
yes,
it. Like if they do another one and they make a horror comedy, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm super down for that. You kidding me? But that's all we have to say here about Megan 2.0.
Yeah,
Derek, do you want to tell us about what our next movie is?
Next, we're watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, and we're not doing the one that came out last summer. We're talking about the one that came out this
We're
summer.
talking about this
We're
summer.
talking about this summer.
We're talking the latest and greatest 2025 remake of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
This movie's sitting at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. When 5 friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. 1 year later, the past comes back to haunt them as they learn someone knows what they did last summer. Stalked by a mysterious killer, they soon seek help from the survivors of the legendary Southport Massacre of 1997.
Whoa.
I don't know why I became a radio host.
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, I have never seen any of those films.
Mm-hmm.
You?
Nope, never have I ever.
Should we or no? It might be fun for neither of us to have seen any of them.
Going blind.
And just see the reboot.
Well, especially since the reviews are not coming in great for this one. And I do feel like there is something to be said about like when you were familiar with something, when it is being remade or adapted into something, your brain is skewed and like, you want it to be something else.
Way.
Which I guess adaptation should be truthful to like their source material, right? However, us going in completely blind, maybe we'll have a different take on this. However, I've seen the trailers for this one and nothing about it looks good to me. So yes, join us next time for I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. But before we send you on your way, it's time for Garfield, baby. It's time for a Garfield horror scope, which is weirdly a little on the nose. It's a little bit of like tech conversation within it. We've got John on his little laptop enjoying a hilarious kind of video of some idiot dancing in his underwear. And then he notices, I recognize this song. Wait a minute, I have underwear just like that. And he realizes Garfield has been recording him, putting his videos on the internet. Derek, what do you want to be?
I want to. I don't want to be any of this.
You want no part of this.
It's kind of just like I don't know. Jim Davis this is an interesting one. I will be.
At the very end, Garfield says, "Epic freakout, viral boy."
Yeah, I'll be John.
Okay, I'll be John's hair going from normal to the very last panel. It's very stringy and nasty.
All right,
as he's freaking out.
So John gets played pretty bad in this one, but he starts off like, hey, look, an idiot dancing. He's like making fun of him. So his first reaction to this is to make fun of him and bully.
Yeah.
And then when he realizes he's the one being bullied,
kind of
he
turns
flips
it
it
inward.
around. And maybe that's something you should look at in life. Be like, maybe think before you bully.
Yeah.
Maybe don't.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe don't bully. Think about this. Think about if you were the one in this video, how would you feel? Don't go make fun of that person. I'm the hair that has changed from normal to stringy and scary because he's shouting at Garfield. And I'm gonna take a different approach to our horoscope here. Go be the horror in someone's life. You got things you need to display because we're talking comics or visual art, right? You're trying to get a point across with it. And so John could just be yelling in the final frame, but it sells it a lot more for his hair to look spooky and scary. So I'm going to say, if you need to sell and make your point, like be that, be scary.
Make your hair scary.
Make your hair scary is what I'm trying to say. You get the point. Do what you need to get your point across.
Make your scare hairy.
Make your scare hairy. And with that, we have been your horrible horror boys. Thank you for tuning in with us. As always, we always appreciate you guys listening to our fun, silly little banter as long as we'll go.
Yeah.
You can find us on our social medias. We are on Instagram at that_was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, YouTube at That Was Horrible, and TikTok at That Was Horrible.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. It has been a pleasure to be computing this data with all of you.
I compute.
And
so
as
good.
always, Garfield be with you. Stay
Stay
spooky.
Goodbye.